Hi, my name is Adriana Mora and my companions Laura Velázquez and Laura Diaz. We present second language seminar about rabbits. Rabbits definition and description. Rabbits, member of the class Mammalia or Lagomorpha and family Leporidae. Is characterized for having a body covered with thin and shaggy coat of pale gray to gray color, oval head, and large eyes. It weighs between 1.5 and 2.5 kilograms in the weight. It has longer up to 7 centimeters, which help regulate body temperature and very short tail. Measures from 33 to 50 centimeters in pleasant conditions. The body of the rabbits is covered by a thick and soft hair. There are different races that can process meat, skin, or hair. Rabbits were kept as fun and pet animals until the middle of the 19th century. Companion rabbits were first reported in Renaissance.
Now I'm going to talk about the disease prevention of rabbits. Rabbits require daily attention, feeding and drinking water must be provided to a journal, and its cage must be cleaned and be cleaned every 3 or 4 days. You have to clean them, give them attention, affection, and mental stimulation with toys. In addition, this must be attended periodically by a veterinarian to ensure their good health. It will be good for a while every day that the rabbit can run on the floor or better yet in the garden. In a flat, be careful with what he can nibble, better a room prepared for him. And in the garden, to prevent him from escaping, make a sufficient enclosure so that he can run and smell the grass without having to wash it. All that you need to have it at home is a suitable cage, recipient to eat and drink, bed for a floor, a toilet, a burrow to rest, food like hay and fresh vegetables, and a transport to carry out the trip to the veterinarian. What are the needs for a rabbit? It must be a quiet place, protected, recognized, and able to take refuge. It hurts the constant hustle and bustle, like noises, screaming children, and television. The place must be well ventilated, a cool environment, but not in the air currents as next to the open windows. The temperature on the interior of the house should be constant for the domestic rabbits, not the highest temperatures of the superheat and dry ones. Let them at the daylight, because the artificial light for a long time doesn't do any good. They need the sun's illumination, but not its direct exposure. And the cage should be large enough so that the rabbit can move and stretch when resting and spend a lot of time in it. Most diseases of rabbits are specific to them, that is, they are not transmitted between different animal species, so if you have another animal living with your rabbit, you don't have to worry in principle for possible contagious diseases. In order to prevent the vast majority of diseases and common problems, you must follow the vaccination schedule that the veterinarian tells you, and maintain a good hygiene and adequate and healthy diet. Provide exercise at the same time as a good rest. Ensure that the rabbit be free of stress. Check their body and coat often and observe their behavior so that the least detail that seems strange in their individual behavior call your attention and go to the veterinarian. By following these guidelines, you will easily avoid health problems, and if they occur, you will detect them early, helping to make your rabbit recovery faster and more effective. Rabbits are very insecure animals that always stay alert, coming to suffer stress for any stimulus or change that occurs in their life. This behavior is increased in dwarf rabbits because due to their size, they feel constantly threatened. One of the most important things that should be considered when you have a rabbit as a pet is its hygiene, which is not a very complex task since it's not necessary to bathe them constantly because they are able to groom and keep clean their own fur. It's advisable to bathe the rabbit at most twice a year because this situation usually causes a lot of stress. When adopting a rabbit for the first time during its first month at home, it's advisable to take it to a veterinarian for a review, and if it has not been dewormed or vaccinated, it will be time to do so. With regard to deworming, you must know there are two types of deworming, an internal and an external. Among the possible diseases that rabbits may suffer are allergies, which depending on the allergen that causes them, can cause problems in the respiratory system, conjunctivitis, dermatitis, or digestive problems. Allergies can be classified into respiratory, caused by the seasonal change, by the dust in the hay or in the bed, by mites presented in a stuffed animal or bed that is hot to the rabbit, by different odors coming from deodorants, colonies, or cleaning products, by contact caused by synthetic fibers, shampoos, or parasites, food provoked by some type of food. The most common allergies in rabbits are respiratory. Among the possible diseases that rabbits may suffer are allergies, which depending on the allergen that causes them, can cause problems in the respiratory system, conjunctivitis, dermatitis, or digestive problems. Allergies can be classified into respiratory, caused by the seasonal change, by the dust in the hay or in the bed, by mites presenting in a stuffed animal or bed, by different odors coming from deodorants, colonies, or cleaning products. Contact caused by synthetic fibers, shampoos, or parasites, and food provoked by some type of food. The most common allergies on rabbits are respiratory ones, which are characterized by continuous sneezing, mucus, and in some cases hoarse breathing. As in humans, they are not serious, but they are annoying since sometimes they are accompanied by congestion. Sometimes to be taken into account since rabbit can stop eating due to lack of smell. In these cases, you must find out what is the allergen that produces that allergy, remembering that the day that began the sneeze, that they changed something in the house. For rabbits, the selective feeding can exacerbate dental and nutritional problems. Some animals can select certain parts of mixed diets that are higher in energy and low in other necessary nutrients, so that even balanced diets can lead to unbalanced intake. At least in some ones, you run the risk of excessive tooth growth, digestion problems, obesity, malnutrition, and boredom. And a specific disease is the coccidiosis. It's caused by internal parasites of the group of Coccidia. In fact, it's a parasitosis that most often affects rabbits, having a higher incidence in the 3 weeks after weaning. Coccidiosis affects those rabbits subject to stress and the sudden change that weaning implies. So this parasitosis is suffered in the 3 weeks after the separation of the mother. The only way to prevent coccidiosis in rabbits is to medicate the mothers with antibiotic of the sulfonamide group in the 3 days before weaning. Although, obviously, keeping the caging condition of optimal hygiene would also be of great help. Finally, in recent years, the rabbit has become one of the most desired pets, especially those raised called dwarf, because it's a small animal, clean and easy to care, being ideal to accompany. The life expectancy of a rabbit will depend on the breed, reaching to life between 8 and 10 years, although this can be extended if the necessary care is provided.
Feeding. Rabbits are herbivores. Their diet is based on a high fiber content and low energy density. This can promote healthy teeth by allowing optimal chewing movement. This can be provided within the grass, hay, or other fibrous vegetation. Energy-dense food should rarely be fed in large quantities over prolonged periods. When fed excessively, they do not allow inadequate amount of natural forating behavior and increase the likelihood of obesity. Inadequate levels of calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin D can lead to the metabolic bone disease, which is one of the main causes of dental disease in domestic rabbits. Vitamin D can be provided in varied vegetation or can be synthesized by rabbits when exposed to the sunlight. Clean water must be available all the time. Rabbits can drink more and more from open containers. Water intake is also higher in rabbits and higher in fiber diets, and the increase of this can help prevent sometimes urinary tract problems. Reproduction. The most appropriate age to start the reproduction varies in rabbit according to race, sex, season, and individual characteristics. The gestation of the female lasts approximately 31 days, and lactation 56 days, totaling 87 days. Therefore, each female is theoretically able to give birth and raise 4 litters in 365 days, with a rest period of 17 days. For the cruising, the female must always be taken to the male cage 6 or 7 weeks after the birth. The offspring must be separated from the mother after 45 days. The males should be separated from the females and placed in individual cage. The female, depending on their size and vigor, can be crossed by the male at 5 or 6 months of age. One male is required for every 10 females.